Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. What do you do when your computer is running really hot but you don't actually have the funds to do anything about it? Well, one of the most common things we see is people actually take the side off of their case, but will that actually lower the temperatures in the case because obviously more fresh air can get in, or will it actually affect the airflow where obviously the fans what are sucking in are blowing the air straight back out again rather than it flowing through the system the way it should do? So what we're going to do today, take the side off, run some tests and see if there is a temperature difference between the CPU and the graphics and a few of the other components. Okay, so we're going to take the side off. I've already undone one of the screws on here, so it's only been held in by one screw. Most cases the side easily comes off, and again when I say most cases I'd say around about 95% of them, it's usually held in by two screws on the back or thumb screws, and all you need to do is undo them with obviously your finger and thumbs, or use a screwdriver depending on the type of screw, and then it usually just slides off like that. Some may be a little bit different. Glass sides can sometimes be held on by 4 points. Just be careful if you have got a glass side, because if it falls out you could smash it. Okay, so all we're going to do is move that to one side and basically test what temperature of this is running at now that the side has been taken off compared to what it was like before. All testing was done on the same machine. Specifications of that machine are in the description if you want to take a look. Our test machine is disconnected from the internet, so no updates or anything else can run in the background. Everything is disabled what doesn't need to be run on the machine. In these tests we set all the fans in the computer to run at 50% of the maximum speed. This is so the fans did not automatically speed up when the components were getting hotter. The room temperature is set at 18 degrees and were checked before each test was undertaken, and we have air conditioning and so forth to keep the temperature set at that level all the time. All tests were undertaken for exactly 30 minutes, so when we're stress testing something to do the testing, we do it for 30 minutes, and then we repeat the process again 3 times in total to make sure all the results are accurate. So total testing time was roughly 6 hours, not including assembling and disassembling of the machine. Results are accurate for this machine, but obviously will change and differ depending on the machine and components you use. So in this first test we wanted to check to see how hot the machine basically got, or at least the components did, when the machine was sitting at idle with the side on and off. And as you can see from the results, the temperatures are near enough exactly the same. The only difference was the CPU with the side on the case was 1 degree warmer, but within all honesty that's within a margin of error. On the next graph you'll see basically exactly the same, but this time we decided to load all the components at 100%, which means we were working as hard as they could for 30 minutes. And again, everything was very similar here, but this time with the CPU with the case side off was actually a bit warmer, and that's probably because the airflow inside the machine wasn't as good, and the air was just basically going all over the place. The one thing what did stand out was with the side off, the solid state drive was drastically cooler. So in conclusion, is it worth taking the side off your case? And the answer is not usually, to be honest with you, because what happens is when you've got the side on, the air has to follow a certain path through the machine to keep the components cool. As soon as you take that side off, even though you're allowing potentially more air to come in and out of the case, it's not following that path anymore, so certain components may get more air and other ones may not. So overall you'll find it's usually best, unless you've got completely failed fans on the front and the back of the case, to leave the side on.